Strength competitions have been around as long as we have, and have always been a unique style of exercise, a battle between human and gravity. No other style of training will prepare you to become a lifter. However, lifting weights will prepare athletes for just about any other sport. Olympic lifting has long been viewed traditionally as a male-dominated sport. However, it is clear that the rise in popularity among women and girls is growing quickly. History has not been kind, attaching negative stigmas to strong and athletic women, and has sometimes marginalized their efforts as a mechanism to limit and control their participation. Many myths and misconceptions still exist surrounding women breaking boundaries in this sport. Some women are challenging the cultural notions of athletic ability, appearance, and participation in Olympic weightlifting.
Well, I discovered weightlifting through my husband and my two boys. And Bob's been in it for 13 years, and he tried for years to get me to do lifting. And I just kind of chucked it off, and I was in my 50s when I started. So.
It was definitely through CrossFit. Otherwise, I don't think I would ever have gotten into weightlifting. And then also just starting at CrossFit Trent, because I did CrossFit at another gym, but coming here, it was more focused on the weightlifting, so.
My dad looked it up in the phone book, and then I just went one night, and I loved it, so I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I've been doing CrossFit here for 2 years, and I kind of felt like I wasn't progressing in my weightlifting at CrossFit. So in order to get better, you have to do a lot of it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll spend some time lifting. I came here for Olympic lifting, and now I'm barely only coming to do Olympic lifting.
I was doing it in the gym, and I just tried to give it a go, and it was like, had a blast. At that point, I was having a hard time snatching the bar, though. So within a couple days, he was able to throw way more weight on there for me, so that's how.
So I got into it through Kevin. Kevin had been weightlifting years prior to me. I resisted it for a very long time because I thought he was nuts. And then slowly got into CrossFit, and then we became members at the gym, and then it just fell into place. It just worked, and I enjoyed it.
Originally was about 16, I think, and I just was doing just weight training. And I think I was about a year into it, and then Bob come to me and he says, "Do you think you want to try a little Olympic weightlifting?" I went, "Sure, why not?" And then after that, that was it. I was hooked.
Just by being an athlete all my life. I played rep baseball for 12 years, and I felt like it was something I was missing. Like I always did swimming and some playing around in the gym, but nothing like this.
Is gaining popularity because it's not something that's been well known for many years. It kind of died off a little bit, and then all of a sudden now through sports like CrossFit and other athletic sports, it's starting to build up popularity again, and people are starting to pick it up because it's easy to walk into a gym 3 days a week and see results and train hard.
Actually, when I started Olympic weightlifting, I wasn't exactly sure. So I guess I would say it probably turned out to be more.
Something better than I expected. And yeah.
Actually, it started just because I wanted to improve, like it was the portion of CrossFit that I was really crappy at. and that's kind of where it started, and now it's kind of become my primary focus. So it was much more than I anticipated. Yeah, it became a much larger passion.
I don't know. I think going into it, I wasn't really sure what it was going to be. I thought I was just going to, kind of do it here and there for fun, and then eventually I started competing. And
it's more because now I'm competing and I'm doing well, and that makes me happy knowing that I'm progressing and that all the effort that I've been putting in is paying off. So
that's how I got into it. From there, I went in and I started with them. And then one of the girls that trained with us, her and I, we went to a competition, and it was Olympic lifting, and we looked at each other and said, we can do that. So there we did, and that's how we got into it, and I've never ever looked back.
Yeah, I expected to just do it so I could get better at hockey, but now I'm doing it as an actual sport. It's a lot more popular than what I thought it was. I didn't really know anything about it, and then it's a lot more.
But Olympic weightlifting is, you come in, you put the work in, and you see results. And if you're the type of person that can just come into the gym, be task-oriented and get to work, you'll see a lot of benefit. They know they get their piece of paper when they walk in, or they get their program, and they get to work, they grab bars, they don't ask questions, they just kind of get to it. And I think they enjoy the fact that they're doing something else that is not overly popular in the fitness world. It's a little unique to everyone else out there.
I think my biggest challenges are managing my weight, because I have to be in a certain weight class in order to compete at the level that I want to, and I'm always at the top of the weight class, so it's hard to get always back in that class.
finding the time to train, honestly.
The hardest part? Super busy schedule, so it's hard to make time, right? But you have to sacrifice other things, and it's totally worth it. It's definitely the best part of your day every day, but it's still hard because the other things everybody wants your time, right?
My biggest challenge was the frustration of not knowing the movements that well. Just learning from the basic and just going over it and over again, I think was the most difficult. Was why is my brain saying I can do this, but my body wasn't allowing me to do it, was the most frustrating part.
I'm going to say the competitions, because I'm not, even in school doing public speaking, I was like just petrified. So when you get up there and you're in front of all these people, you just, it's like Coach just said, just find a spot right over top of that center referee and just look at it.
I guess the hardest part was being having your husband for a coach and learning how to deal with that.
For me, it's confidence. It's a lot to do with confidence because it's very technical, and I have to trust myself. So that takes it's a big barrier that I have to go through.
Oh yeah, I hear it a lot. Don't lift too heavy, you're going to look like a man, or like they kind of have that in their head what they see on TV. I grew up far from the Olympic, and I think personally right now I've seen some physical changes since I started doing Olympic lifting, and I love it.
When I did start Olympic weightlifting, I was the only female. I was the only girl that went to all the competitions. So it took a few years before, more girls from Ontario, I think, started catching on to it. And the other coaches who had the boys are going, well, she's involved, why can't we get these girls involved? Let's put that out there.
It's always been the biggest conflict with women, like the perception of, I'm going to look bulky, I'm going to look manly. But that's part of weight loss. That's, weight training is weight loss. But a lot of the women now understand that by educating them more, open up the door to more options for them.
The hardest part for me is trying to tell myself it's okay to not be the best. And then time. Because I've got 2 young kids, I got a husband who's always on call. So time and try not to be a perfectionist.
I just surround myself with the right people, so I've never really had any issues with that. Most of my friends are here in the gym.
Well, it makes me feel powerful. And also, I'm a perfectionist, so like working over and over and over on the same movement until you get it perfect, so it kind of like drive me. There's one day out of maybe 10 sessions of lifting that makes it all worth it, because that day when it works out, it's like so powerful.
Strong, like physically and mentally strong, more confident. I've noticed it, and definitely people closest to me have noticed that.
It makes me feel really good because I'm stronger than I used to be. I'm stronger than a lot of people my age, so.
Makes me feel great. Makes me feel strong, happy, powerful.
Healthier. I feel healthier even coming back after taking 15 years off to have kids and raise them.
Great. It really does. I actually wish now that I had started earlier when they asked me to, but better late than never, right? So, but yeah, I do. I feel a lot better. I have great, my reflexes are great.
Even if practice isn't going well, like I still have a blast, and especially on days like this when you get a new PR, it's, I don't know, super rewarding for, you know, a couple pounds, make your day so much better. That doesn't make sense logically, but it does, so yeah.
Weightlifting makes me feel empowered is one, and that's most common that I hear from everyone else as well. But the one thing that really speaks out to me is divine. It makes me feel divine in a way, almost like my inner self kind of explodes when I lift and when I do movement. So that's my definition. Yeah. The biggest supporters are Apollo. You know, my husband, he's also a big supporter, but it does come from my girlfriends that also lift, but mainly, well, I have a good support system, so, and everyone's in the same kind of boat, but it's a good community that helps support everyone else. So
my family, my husband, my sons, and my daughter, and of course my grandkids, and you know, so son-in-laws, and yeah.
This team welcomed me from like the first day I walked in here. I wasn't even a member yet, and they treated me like I belonged, and it was really awesome. We all kind of support each other, and that's probably the best part, really. Like, I could never be a garage weightlifter, you know, on your own with your camera in your garage. Like, for me, it's just nothing in it, right? It's about the people you're with. So
Basically family and the group at the gym, like everybody's there for everybody.
My parents, they've always been there for me, so they'll always will.
My husband, Kevin, the kids, completely, and my friends, like the people that in my family.
My advice would be to give it a try. There's, you know, there's different type of lifting. You don't have to do the Olympic lifting. You can get into like the CrossFit. You can get into powerlifting. There's lots of things to do with it. But my thing is get into it as soon as you can. Like, you know, don't wait like me. And so.
Just don't be afraid, and you have to be very patient because it doesn't come overnight.
Yes, I already have my 5-year-old daughter doing it, so yes.
It makes you feel stronger all the time and makes you feel better about yourself.
And most definitely, it doesn't matter what age you are. You just, I just tell them, if you're going to lift, make sure you get a coach that knows what he's doing in Olympic weightlifting.
Find a good team to support yourself, and don't be afraid of failure. You know, push your limits, and don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of looking bad.
Oh yes, yeah, I would. I would definitely encourage them to get into it. Give it a try. You know, I think for their own just just a nice way you feel about yourself, like, you know, you had a little confidence, and you know what I mean, it's a good confident booster, so get in there and give it a shot.
It's very empowering to lift heavy stuff.
Lift, do it. That's the biggest thing, is you don't know unless you try.
Come out and do it. It's not scary.
Just do it. If it makes you happy, just, do it.
100%, yeah. Everyone, I'd encourage everyone to lift.
I've had women or girls walk in the gym that maybe aren't overly confident, a little shy. They come in with their head down. They're not sure how to use their bodies properly. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they walk in with their head high, and they move with aggression, and they move well with their body. And it's something that you see in some of them, and how they progress, how well they progress, and how fast they pick it up. Like they listen to instructions very well. They're some of the hardest workers in the gym.
It became clear that participation and competition in Olympic weightlifting is about more than overcoming gravity. It's about fitness, participation, empowerment, and inclusion.
I would just say I lift weight because it makes me feel powerful.
I lift because it's in my blood now. I love the sport.
I weightlift because I love it. It keeps me and my husband doing the same stuff. It's our little bond we have. Like, even though we're on different platforms, we know that we have that in common.
One of the things that I enjoy about weightlifting is that I'm stronger than everybody else in my class, and that is a real confidence booster. And that every time when I get the weight above my head and everybody's screaming around me, it's awesome.
And why I lift is because I enjoy it. I like it, and I like the benefits from it. So
I don't even know if there's like an answer for that. It's such a fundamental necessity now. I can't even describe why I love it so much, but it's the best part of my day.
And this is the closest thing to being an athlete. It's what I love to do.
I lift because I like the way it makes me feel. It makes me feel strong and confident as a woman.
By removing limiting cultural concepts and dispelling myths, women and girls can begin to include physical strength and athletic ability to a new definition of femininity.